Good morning. Happy Sunday, everyone. Happy Sunday. Juppy here from the Amateur Football YouTube channel. And hey, you know what? We're going to do something a little bit different today. We're going to do something a little bit different. Please, this is live. So again, please put in your comments, questions. We will do as much as we can. But you know what? Let's kick on. I have the pleasure of having someone from the mighty Sporting Continental on this channel. Juppy, how are you doing, sir?
I'm good, mate. I'm good. Couldn't find anyone decent to come on, so they've had to send me. Unfortunately, what can you do?
You know, that is so true. That is so true. So, so for the kind of viewers out there, this is going to be part one of many. And you know what? We're going to go literally just straight into it. Actually, before we go right into like the meat, Juppy, can you kind of talk briefly about your playing career?
Yeah, so I started at a local church team to me called Westside. Played there for quite a few years. Then went off on the Combined Counties merry-go-round, 4 or 5 clubs there. And now Westside have made their way back up to, well, for the first time up to Combined Counties. So I lost my excuse not to go back. So I'm back playing there again.
No.
For the last few years. And then obviously on Sundays we've got Sporting Continental for the last few years after Hugo badgered me into coming down there.
Oh, brilliant. So you know what? So the like title of the this kind of YouTube talk is really our Sporting the best team in the Southern Sunday. You know what? I'm gonna leave that to you. Do you guys think that you're the best team in the Southern Sunday League?
In one word, yeah, quite frankly. From what I've seen in that league, obviously I've played in the Prem for Swag as well for quite a few years. I think we're the best team in that league. We should beat everyone. Obviously on a one-off game on one day, it could go wrong, as we saw on last Sunday when we didn't play very well, but still ground out the result. We should be beating everyone. You'll get Battersea Dogs thinking that they outplayed us and should have beat us, but realistically, that's the worst we're ever going to play. That might be the best they're ever going to play, and they still lost. So next time it'll probably be 5-6-0. That's my prediction, early doors.
So you could have put in out that statement that you are the best team in Southern Sunday. Like, what's the kind of level in terms of arrogance and also being slightly cocky with it? Like where, you know, do you like the other?
It's a fine line, isn't it? You don't want to make the statement because then you get what happened with Rising Ballers when they said they were going to come and win everything, and then lost in the London Cup, and everyone starts having a laugh at you. Realistically, you can lose a game of football. It can happen, but in terms of what I've seen in Southern Sunday, I think that we could potentially win every game in that particular league.
Yeah.
Just it's there to be proved wrong, but that's just the thoughts on it.
Yeah, and you've kind of spoken about winning every game. I believe that you guys are unbeaten in definitely over 25 games, which probably equates to almost 2 years. And like we're talking league and also cup as well. Literally, how do you kind of form that type of mentality to literally kind of go like into games having that kind of swag to actually say, look, like we like are like the best team in like the Southern Sunday. What can you do to actually stop us?
It's just the mentality, isn't it? Winning's a habit. So start winning. You just go from there, keep going. We've got a lot of people in the team that have that mentality that they want to win every single game. And yeah, we play a style of football that suits us. Obviously, on Sunday mornings, you get a lot of teams that want to come out and play pretty football with their friends. Football for a lot of us is just, we're there to win football matches. We're not there to look the best on the eye. I think a lot of teams have called us Stoke Continental because we're very direct. But at the end of the day, just look at the results. Direct gets us wins. So
yeah. And I want to give a big shout out to Francis, saying morning like to you. Actually, you guys played Magpie recruitment. You know, what's your kind of thoughts about Magpie?
On the day we won that game comfortably. I think it was 8-1, but they actually started the game quite well, if I'm honest. They had a couple of chances, and then once we got in front, it sort of went away from them. And I think late in the game, quite a few of their boys, obviously, when the scoreline gets quite high, they gave it up, and you get a couple more goals, like easy goals at the end of the game that way. But yeah, they seem all right down there. I thought that they'd do quite well in their league. Obviously, I don't check all the divisions, so I don't know how they're doing this year. But from last year, I'd have expected them to do okay.
Yeah. So, you know, I'm a kind of avid watcher of your content, and you kind of touched upon you guys not playing well against Battersea Dogs, but still getting the result. In the video, you know, there was a player, I think it was number 17, that looked like he was getting under everyone's skin, and there were certain words that were kind of being put out. I mean, again, can you kind of briefly talk about that game and literally how it kind of was for you playing?
It's a weird one because we turned up late. We had a few boys that were hungover, not been out the night before. I think it's one of them with the league. We expect to win every game. So putting it bluntly, I don't think we go into league games and everyone is as switched on as they can be, because you can have a dip in a league game and it doesn't really matter. Whereas in the cups, I think if you look at our videos, our performances in the cup games have been far better than they have been in the league. You get one chance in the cup and then it's gone. But the Battersea game was a weird one. We turned up and they had a player that was just staring us all out from when we arrived. So automatically, that's a bit of a strange thing to turn up to. The number 17, I think the video's gone the way it's gone, because every time there was a little incident, he seemed to be involved in it. Coming over, pushing, shoving. Obviously, in the video, you can see he shoves Brendan. And then near the end, you can't see the melee because the camera doesn't catch it. But our keeper wins a punch, and then I think someone said he tried to stamp on him on the floor, or something like that. So that's what kicked that all off. And obviously, the commentator's taken the decision to give him a nickname on the video. Warranted, probably, but there we go.
Yeah, okay. And what do you think about Battersea Dogs as a team?
On the day, they can't say much. They were better than us. Their left winger looked a half decent player, but it's tough because we were very, very poor. So I can't judge it. Like I said, I think in the return leg we're going to beat them quite handily. They're going to turn up expecting that they can do the same thing, and we cannot play that badly again, in my eyes. Yeah. It's just not possible.
Yeah. Someone just said that they were kind of giving it non-stop, and
that would be our gaffer, the Badger.
The Badger. I mean, again, you probably have to expect teams to try and put you off your game as much as possible, because I think you would have to live under a rock not to know the quality that you guys have. So
that was actually the other thing on Sunday. They were quoting stuff from our videos. I think they knew them better than we do. So obviously they watch the content. You turn up, you obviously they want to be the first ones to say, "Oh, we beat Sporting Continental." It didn't work out that way, but they get a second chance later in the season. We'll see how that one goes.
So let's kind of talk about your kind of partnership with Hugo. It's I'd say ever present. Apart from the Battersea Dogs game where he came late. How? Yeah,
his trains were delayed, and then he ended up getting an Uber at the cost of gone £70 to get there. So that shows his dedication to turning up. I think I'd have turned around and gone back to Milton Keynes. What can you do?
But how important is it? Of course, playing as a centre back to literally have that connection and that synergy with your partner.
Well, obviously, you play there as well. It's important to have a connection with the person you're playing with. if you play together regularly, you know more or less what each other are going to do. Compared to last season, I don't actually think we've been as good this year. We've given away a lot of goals from individual mistakes. But yeah, it's a massive help when you play together with the same person as a centre half over and over again. It's just developing those partnerships on the pitch, which is quite good for us at the minute because we've got a fairly settled team. We didn't even have a massive squad last year, so obviously you get those partnerships. The four boys up front, Drade, Dan, Darren, and then whoever's in the 10, Brendan, Kai. Obviously, you see, we're a threat going forward against any team we play, and we score lots of goals because of it.
And let's kind of talk about, I think this is the first time since I've been watching you guys where you've had a bit of an influx of new players. How have like those new players have settled into the Sporting Continental way, and how important is it to bring in the right characters within that squad?
Oh, it's massively important. It's a few boys are still probably getting used to the way we play, but that comes over games. We've played 5, 6, 7 games this year, so obviously they may still be getting used to it. It's just we needed some fresh blood. We've had a couple of players leave at the end of the year. Obviously, a couple of them live quite far away, so they've gone to play more local to home. And as I say, we didn't have the biggest of squads last year, so it's massively important that we needed to fill those spaces because you cannot turn up every week with the bare 11, 12, 13 players. It just doesn't work. You can't go for a season with just that many players. So it's nice to have some new boys in. We've got Dan, who's been ever present at right back. Ben's now ever present at left back. My opinion, he's one of the best right wingers in Southern Sunday, but he wants to play left back, so he does his job there. And you've got Kai come in, doing okay. Ant's coming. He weren't happy last Sunday, but something needed to change in that first half, and unfortunately, you've got to make a couple of changes. But yeah, he's done okay. And then you've got Brendan, who plays in the 10 as well. He's a very, very good player. So it's some good new signings, and gives us more options, and we're getting 3-4 on the bench every week, which is helpful as well. Gives the Badger a couple of decisions to make on the sidelines for once, rather than just standing watching us and taking all the credit for it.
I do like Badger's his kind of multicolored jacket. That is definitely.
He wears it even more because it keeps getting comments, I think.
Honestly, like that's the first thing that I notice is just that multicolored jacket. That is something else. But yeah, you've again, you kind of touched upon your kind of front three or your kind of front four, and let's talk about Dan and like Matt. They just have this kind of synergy and connection that not a lot of teams have. And again, I've been kind of watching you guys a lot, and of course I was literally at your final, and it's just crazy just to see them work well together. I mean, like, how is it playing with those type of players?
Oh, it's fantastic. Dan will run all day for you. He doesn't get the credit he deserves from me. His intelligence in making his runs and everything is superb. Obviously, he then works off Drage. It's obviously between the two of them, they seem to just have an understanding of where each other's going to be on the pitch at all times. And then you add Darren coming in off the right-hand side of that, who now that he's realised that he's got someone that wants to play the ball in behind for him, he's making those runs. Whereas I've played with him on a Saturday, quite a few teams where you don't make that ball, and Darren just loses interest with it. If you're not going to play him, there's little point in it. Yeah. So yeah, it's obviously with the three of them, I'll say we're always going to score goals. Most games 4, 5, 6. That's how it goes.
Yeah. I just want to acknowledge Grassroots TV giving you guys and myself a shout. Thank you. And the Badger has just said more.
I've just been told off as well. I mentioned the new players. I completely forgot to mention Eden. He's only been there 2 games.
Oh well, hey, you know.
Plus, how long is he going to be there? We just don't know.
Eden. Eden is a character. Let's just stop it. Let's just stop right there. But yeah, you know what? Again, Eden with his kind of left foot, like he brings a different dimension to like what you guys do. And again, against Battersea, his like free kicks and like corners were an absolute weapon.
Yeah, the delivery was good. It's nice to have that. Obviously, you've seen it. We tend to go short. So it's nice to be able to deliver them into the box every now and then. And then you've got VJ somehow getting on the end of one for his 1 goal for the season, which is nice to see.
And I want to just briefly touch upon again Matt Drage. I know that there's like a lot of things out there, in terms of who's the best Sunday League striker and who's the best striker that hasn't got a pro contract. And of course, if you kind of don't play for like the, I would say like the big teams on like YouTube, you're not going to get noticed. But literally, I just want to just kind of put it out there. I think Matt should be talked about. The goals that he scores, the presence. He's a beast.
I know we play in the Championship of Southern Sunday, which it's not going to get the same recognition as other leagues. But yeah, his numbers speak for themselves, don't they?
Yeah, it's crazy. So yeah,
crazy numbers on any day of the week. So
100%. So let's talk about the game, the final, London Junior Cup. Again, you was literally involved in that. Can you kind of talk about the game, and again, what like winning that trophy means to you?
As a game, it was another one of them. I think, obviously, you came to watch it. They had a couple of chances first half. They probably should have scored 2 goals. But then at the other end of the pitch, we could easily have gone in 5-6 up at half time, comfortably winning it. Even though it was 1, even though I think it was it 1 at half time?
Yeah.
We always felt in control of the game. Obviously, then the skipper gets himself sin binned. He wants to have a bit too much of a chat with a referee. And then for the 10 minutes, we did quite well for those 10 minutes. Held them out. They didn't really create a lot. Scored the 2 more goals. I think 3-0 was. It showed how comfortable it was, which is what you want in a final.
Yeah.
Nice night. Control the game, and take on the trophy, which is obviously that's what everyone's in football to do. Win things.
I mean, I can't believe Drake actually got like play of the game. That was a bit shocking to me. But hey, I guess his like influence on like the game was again immense.
I think he had a hand in all 3 of our goals, so you have to look at that, and it gets offset against the fact that he spent 10 minutes having a rest so he could come back on fresh.
Oh dear, oh gosh. I mean, again, winning that trophies is exactly what Sporting Continental is really about, though, isn't it?
That when we set out last season, with all respect, obviously Bob Dixon League 1, we expected to go undefeated in that. Didn't expect to lose a game. Then you get the cup that was just our league and the league below. You expect to win that. So those 2 we were taking as givens before we started. The 2 things we wanted to measure our season on was the London Cup and the Marcus Lipton, because that's every single team in the Southern Sunday. We still personally think that we should be winning the Marcus Lipton. London Cup, you don't know what type of teams you're going to get in it. It was only the junior version of it, but still, that you had teams like Sporting Mundial in there who were in Beatty's league, looked like they were going to win it for me, and we had to play them in the semi-finals and went the Hackney Marshes and got the job done there. So yeah, we still had to beat some good teams to win that London Cup. You don't. It's never easy to win one, is it?
Yeah.
You've still got to beat some decent teams along the way.
Yeah, 100%. And let's kind of talk about the Southern Sunday as well. I mean, the Southern Sunday is the biggest grassroots league in London. But why do you think they like don't get the publicity like, I say, the Alperton and Bromley, Westford, Croydon?
Well, for the Alperton and Bromley, we're not as good, are we? That's basic. Teams in other leagues are louder than our league is. I mean, in our league, you have WeFilm. Westminster put out a 3-minute video of the goals in their games every week. But yeah, we're not really that loud with the filming either. We go about it. Obviously, it speaks for itself. Yeah, it's not as loud. There's leagues out there that Southern Sunday's probably on a par with. And then there's leagues like Orpington, which you can just look at it and say, you know what, the quality of the teams in that, it's far superior. If you look at the London Challenge Cup, I can't remember the last time a Southern Sunday team did much in it, but this is what it is. You measure it on the London Cup, and I don't think our league, our top division teams do particularly well. Hammersmith, you'd argue, but they've left and gone elsewhere. So yeah, that's how it's looking. Obviously, I can sit here and say I think we're the best team in Southern Sunday. We're not even in the Premier Division. So who's really going to look at that?
Wow. VJ's said quadruple was pending. Wow, that's a big statement. I mean, do you like believe what your teammates saying?
What, for last season?
Yeah,
100%. We're going to win the league. There's no question of that. Points per game, we got 3 points. Can't get any better than that. The cup, we're in a final for the lower division cup, and we were still in the Marcus Lipton. And I personally think we'd have won it, but
okay,
we'll never find out, will we? It's gone now. So.
Okay,
we'll take a double and we'll move on to this year and see if we can improve.
So let's kind of talk about something that's kind of really kind of close to my heart, and we've had banter on DMs about this, about the Wimbledon Town loss. It's. Have you seen how my tone has changed now? Because
it's all got a bit serious now, hasn't it?
Mate, I'm a very serious guy. So
it was going well for you for 3 minutes. I can give you that. Ray Banks did Ray Banks things and 1-0. And
okay, so then
then it went downhill.
So again, what did Wimbledon Town do wrong in that game?
I can't give away too much. I'd be telling people how to play against us, wouldn't I? You let us score 9 goals. I'll give you that much.
I mean, I think playing against you guys, and again, I think scoring so early was
It might have been a mistake.
Yeah, yeah. And what I found, the movement of especially that the front three, it was just amazing, absolutely amazing, and the attitude just to keep going, to actually get more goals as well. Like you were not letting up, and
that's a big thing that Drage bangs on about, is to just be ruthless and keep scoring goals. Even when you're 4, 5, 6 up, you still want to continue scoring. It's a bit nasty, but everyone enjoys scoring goals, don't they? So just keep going and get as many as you can.
Yeah, and of course, as a kind of centre back, it was when people look at that result, they automatically look at the defence, and it was just something that again, I kind of had to really. Yeah, I mean, it was kind of hard for me, definitely. But I mean, how like well or how bad do you think I played? And again, be brutally honest.
Well, I can't sit here and say you were fantastic because obviously your team shipped goals. It wasn't the worst I've seen. It's probably middle of the road, if I'm honest. But playing against that front three is a difficult task for anyone. It's what it is. There's other weeks we've scored 9 that game, but we'll miss tons of chances every week. So there's games where we could easily have scored 15, 16, 17 goals. If there's a week where it all comes together, then the weekly bulletin will look quite bad for someone that week. But
true. And okay, so let's kind of talk about.
If it's any consolation, we've beat Wimbledon Town first team since then, so you're not alone.
Yeah, I mean, hey, yeah, I think what I kind of really like about your team, and again, we've kind of had this conversation even in DMs. It's the absolute mentality of like, look, hey, like we are like here to be shot at, but there's no team right now that's even aiming close to us right now. That's literally what I like about you. Definitely.
It's obviously on any given day of a football match, we could lose.
Yeah.
You can lose to anybody. Does that make them a better team than you? On one day, maybe. Overall, probably not. That's why I still think for me, as a collective, we're the best team in the Southern Sunday. That isn't to say we couldn't lose, but we'll see when it happens. At the moment, we've got players in our team that don't believe it will ever happen. I'm more pragmatic. At some point, we're going to lose a game of football, but when that'll be, who knows?
Yeah. So the Badger says we still never score enough. Do you?
I agree. I actually agree. We create that many chances in a game. We should be scoring more goals than we do. We also need to cut out the stupid mistakes, me included, keep making at the back and conceding goals. It'd be nice if we had a run like we did last season, where we conceded 5 goals in something like 4 months. It'd be fantastic to have something like that.
So let's talk about, and I'm just talking about the Southern Sunday. Who's that been the toughest team that you've played, and who's been the weakest team?
I went there, but they beat Brixton Town 13-0, so that's probably got to be up there for weakest. It's hard to say on weakest. There's been a few teams that we've given quite comprehensive beatings to. In terms of toughest games, obviously Battersea, given their due, they were the better team on Sunday, so we'll have to give them that. I wasn't there for the first game we played as a team against Kudos, but the boys said that was a difficult game. So again, we'll put them up there for one of the more difficult games. Funnily enough, they made a PowerPoint display on our team, on our strengths and weaknesses. We beat Barfold boys 1-0. So there you go. We'll give them. They were quite difficult. They didn't really create anything to trouble us, but just in terms of the scoreline, that's a tough game. And if you're going to spend 30 minutes, 45 minutes creating a slideshow, then yeah, I'll give you some credit for that.
Wow. Okay, and let's talk about lockdown now, because we're in that lockdown. Lockdown number 2. I mean, what are you personally doing in like lockdown, and how is the team coping in general, and what's the one thing that and what's the one thing that you miss about playing on a Sunday?
Definitely not getting up this early. I've been forced to do it this morning anyway. So not really that different. Yeah, just our team. I think it's a lot of a help that everyone gets on. So being around the boys, getting game of football, getting a win, and then getting down the pub and having a couple of beers. Going to miss that on a Sunday, obviously. That's the main thing. In terms of lockdown, I'm just going to eat and drink, I think, and probably come back fat and make more mistakes that lead to more goals. What can you do?
Oh dear. But I mean, again, I think going into lockdown now is for like people like us that literally rely on Saturday and Sunday league football to actually release any kind of tension throughout the whole week.
It's crazy. You even this first weekend, you think, what am I actually going to do Saturday and Sunday? Saturday, you're thinking you're out all day playing combined counties or whatever league you play. Obviously, Saturday football's in the afternoon. It takes up a great deal of your day. Sundays, you get out there early in the morning with the boys, and then you get down the pub, you have a few drinks, so you're getting later in the afternoon. Then it's both gone, and obviously everywhere's shut. So it's not even like you can really go and do much, is it?
Yeah, true. And VJ's literally just echoed what you said regarding like the toughest team. Tough team was Buffalo Boys last season. PowerPoint presentation. Hey, you know what? Again, it's do
what you can to give yourselves the advantage. So they've looked at everything, they've assessed it off the highlights videos as best they can. Obviously, that doesn't give you the full tale of a 90 because it's Hugo picking best moments, isn't it? But yeah, they've used that to their advantage. I know Dan was quite miffed with what they said about him, but what can you do?
What can you do? And let's kind of briefly talk about Hugo in terms of what he puts into the like content. You know like Hugo better than me, so literally like again, like how important is he to Sporting Continental?
Oh, obviously we wouldn't get the videos without Hugo. He set the team up. He sorts out kit. Everything he does a lot for Sporting Continental. The film is a little passion project of his that he's done very, very well with. He taught himself to do all of this stuff, probably with a bit of help along the way from people like yourself. But yeah, it's massive the stuff he does for the club, and the videos are obviously shown online, but there's a lot of stuff behind the scenes that goes unnoticed, most definitely.
And my last question, what's your statement to any like teams in a Southern Sunday, teams also like, I'd say the SE Dons and Rising Ballers and Lambert.
I'm realistic. We're the level below, so I'm not going to come out here and start shouting out SE Dons and stuff like that. They're all doing what they're doing at the minute. It's fantastic. Obviously, you aspire to be able to compete on that level. I think going forward, we cause anyone's problems. Whether we'll be able to stop teams like that at the back is a completely different story. But yeah, in terms of the Southern Sunday, well, I've made the statement now that I think we're the best team in the league. It's up to someone to prove us wrong, isn't it?
Amazing. Juppy, honestly, it's like been a pleasure. And again, I've like said that this is in part one. I'll be very interested to kind of get you on again to like talk about a few other subjects in like part two. But honestly, thank you so much.
No worries, mate. Good to speak. Give something to do during this lockdown period where we actually can't play football. Fingers crossed we'll back out there early next month.
Perfect. So guys, thank you everyone that's been putting their comments in. Thank you for everyone that's been watching this live. Thank you for the people that haven't watched it live, that are watching it back. Sporting Continental, again, I just want to say, they're a team that I invest a lot of time in. And, I literally love what they're doing. And I only wish them the best for this season and also in future endeavors. So, Juppy, honestly, it's been an absolute pleasure. And again, thank you for spending your Sunday morning nattering with me.
No worries, mate. It's good to speak to you.
Guys, honestly, have a wonderful Sunday. I salute you. Just smile and just be happy. Just smile and be happy. So guys,